You ever wonder if maybe, just maybe, our modern ideas about wealth and success are missing something big? Well, today we're going to jump in a time machine and head back to the early 20th century. We're going to explore the really radical teachings of a guy named Charles Fillmore. And his ideas about prosperity are, maybe more relevant right now than they ever have been. So let's dive in. So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we're going to tackle that all too common feeling of lack. Then, we'll get into the core of Fillmore's whole philosophy, this idea of an invisible, abundant substance. After that, we'll see how our own minds are the creators, how faith is the switch that turns it all on, and finally, the really good part, how to actually put this stuff into practice every single day. Okay, first things first. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? That nagging, persistent feeling that we just don't have enough. I mean, it's a question we all ask, isn't it? We work hard, we chase the next thing, we accumulate stuff, but for a lot of us, that feeling of real security just never quite lands. Well, Fillmore argued that the whole problem starts because we fundamentally misunderstood where prosperity even comes from in the first place. This slide really just lays it all out, side by side. On the left, you've got the way most of us are taught to think. Prosperity is external, it's limited, it's this finite pie that we all have to scramble and fight for a slice of. But Fillmore, he just flips that whole idea on its head. His view, over on the right, is that real prosperity is internal. It's unlimited. It flows from a spiritual source inside us. So for him, feeling lack just means we're looking in the wrong direction entirely. And that leads us right into the absolute heart of his philosophy. This wild idea that there's an invisible, infinitely abundant raw material that all of creation is made from. Fillmore gave it a name, spiritual substance. Just think of it as this universal, formless energy that everything, and I mean everything from a planet to a paycheck, from a forest to a feeling of fortune, comes from. It's not the physical stuff itself, but the invisible potential behind all the stuff. And the craziest part, it's everywhere all the time. And this quote right here, this is the key. This substance isn't some resource that's going to run out. It's not something we have to compete for. Fillmore taught that it's this inexhaustible wellspring that's always, always available. But here's the kicker, that last part, it responds to your faith in it. It's not just sitting there, it's interactive. Now, to keep this idea from sounding too out there, Fillmore actually connected it to the cutting-edge science of his time. See, physicists back then were talking about something called the ether, this mysterious, invisible energy field that they believed filled all of space. He saw that and went, aha, that's it. He saw it as a scientific way of describing his spiritual concept, this huge ocean of pure potential just waiting for us. Okay, so if this infinite substance is everywhere, how in the world do we actually access it? How do we shape it into the things we need? Well, according to Fillmore, the answer lies in the most powerful tool any of us have, our own mind. This is where we get in the driver's seat. Our thoughts, our words, the pictures we hold in our minds, they basically act like molds. We take that formless spiritual substance, and with the power of our own consciousness, we give it a specific shape in our world. Your mind is literally the bridge between the unseen and the seen. This quote from his writings really underscores the active role we have to play. And I want you to pay close attention to that word decree. For Fillmore, this isn't some passive little wish or a hopeful prayer. No, it's a firm, conscious declaration. It's the act of stamping a specific idea onto that universal substance with total conviction. Fillmore actually broke this whole creative process down into 3 really clear steps. So first, an idea exists in its pure potential form, out there in what he called the universal mind. Second, your individual mind tunes into it, grabs it, and lays hold of that idea. And third, that focused thought acts on the substance, and boom, the idea manifests as something tangible in your life.
But wait, there's one more absolutely essential ingredient. You can have the substance, you can have the idea in your mind, but something has to connect the two. And that something, for Fillmore, is faith.
Now, let's be clear. For Fillmore, faith isn't some kind of blind hope. It's an active, dynamic power of your mind. Think of it this way. If your thought is the blueprint and the substance is the raw material, faith is the electricity that powers up the whole construction site. It's the connection that makes the whole thing possible. This visual just makes it so simple to understand. Doubt, over on the left, it's like it closes and locks the door, blocking the flow of that substance into your life. But faith,
On the right, it just throws that door wide open, letting all that abundance pour in. It's the solid foundation, that rock, that you have to build your prosperous world on. This classic definition, one that Fillmore used all the time, really gets to the core of it. The key words here are assurance and conviction. It's not about just kind of sort of hoping for things. It's a deep inner knowing that your supply, your good, is real, and it's already here even before you can see a shred of physical evidence. All right, so we've covered the philosophy, right? There's an infinite substance, our minds can shape it, and faith turns it all on. So, how do we actually apply this stuff? Let's get into the practical, nuts and bolts blueprint. So here's the deal. The work has to start inside your own head. It means you have to consciously police your words and your thoughts. Stop giving energy to the idea of lack. You have to bless what you already have, because that gratitude and praise, he said, acts like a multiplier. And you've got to shift from this mindset of selfishly hoarding to one of universal flow, realizing that this substance is for everybody. Fillmore even laid out a simple but really powerful daily routine. Step 1, be still. Quiet your mind so you can feel your connection to the source. Step 2, affirm. Use those strong positive statements. Decree a thing. Step 3, give thanks. Actively praise what you have to get into that receptive state of mind. And finally, bless everything in your life, seeing it all as a real expression of this infinite substance. Man, this is such a powerful statement. It basically says that real spiritual prosperity has nothing to do with what the economy is doing or what your bank account looks like. The source is internal, it's constant, and it's completely untouched by the ups and downs of the outside world. And really, if you take one thing away from all this, let it be this. The goal isn't just about getting more stuff. The goal is to develop a deep, unshakable awareness, a consciousness of this ever-present, unfailing source. Because when you have that consciousness, the things are said to just follow naturally. So I'll leave you with this final empowering question. If our thoughts are literally the tools and this invisible substance is the building material, then every single moment we have a choice. What kind of world are you choosing to build for yourself right now with the thoughts you're thinking today?